Today marks 1607 day of daily lessons, day reflections. And today we speak about evaluation. How to evaluate yourself, how to have a grounded way to evaluate yourself. I think that's an important topic. What is not measured doesn't get improved. What is not evaluated doesn't get improved. So if you want to improve ourselves and grow ourselves and really become the best version of ourselves, we want to learn how to evaluate ourselves. And today we'll share a couple great ideas how we're able to look at ourselves and really start to evaluate ourselves. So number one, start with the reality, not identity. So what it means is that we're able to look into, okay, not what I think I am, but look into, okay, what my patterns currently saying about me. What do I do on consistent basis? What my action is telling me about myself currently? Because I think that sometimes we can really actually believe that we are a certain way, but our actions could say differently. We could say that if we're ambitious, but if we always staying in a bed and laying down and watching movies, playing games, and so you can see yourself an identity as ambitious person, but if you are not doing anything about it, are you actually that kind of person? And I think that we need to always look into what I repeatedly do. That's exactly the first thing that we're able to evaluate. Number two, well, I think that when we want to evaluate ourselves, sometimes we need to really look into simplicity. And sometimes simplicity is like we can really evaluate ourselves and measure only like four areas of our life. That is health, what are the sleep quality, energy levels, physical activity, and of course, that's part of energy levels. Second is work or craft or skill or calling, whatever you call, but this is just where you really look into what are your skill growth, what is your performance, what are your execution, what are your output, what is your focus time and productivity time. It's all about craft and the calling, the work that you do. Number three is relationships. And this is again, we need to understand what kind of questions we need to evaluate. What are the depth of your relationships? Do you have depth conversations or is surface level conversations? Do you speak just about weather, or do you able to understand each other deep weaknesses, fears, laughters, and everything around it? At the same time, how many people do you rely on? Depend on how many people you that can rely on you as a person, as a friend, and the presence, the quality of the time that you have with them. Because sometimes you can have people in your life, but when you look into spending time with them, you know that they always have the phone in their hands and they not able to give you present time. That's again that the depth of conversations. Some days when you're not able to be present, you're not able to really have a deep conversations either. And number four is self-control. How much self-discipline do you have in your life right now? Are you able to control yourself? Are you able to do the things that you said you will do? I think that's extremely important. Like how well do you control yourself, your emotions? Does your emotions control you, or you control your emotions? This is extremely important. Number three, when we evaluate ourselves, we need to have that brutal scoring system. That 1 to 10. I always love that measuring that 1 to 3 is bad, 4 to 5 is mediocre, 7 to 8 is strong, and 9 to 10 is elite. And I think that when we look into most time, we barely will have ability to really achieve 7 and 8 until we're able to really have those self-control, until we do the right things. And I think that's a great way that until we really start to value ourselves on a consistent basis, it's hard to really achieve that elite level. And I think that for the first time you evaluate yourself, most likely you will not be at elite level. And being okay saying that, okay, at the moment at 8, or I'm at the moment at 4, and I want to be 8. And that's great and honest evaluation of yourself matters and matters a lot because now when you evaluate yourself on say I'm 4 or maybe even 3 and you said okay like I know where I am and this grounding activity of understanding where you are is it's amazing because now you know that what you potentially could do to really reach another level. Number four is find avoidance pattern. And I think that's every single person sometimes know what they're supposed to do, but for one reason or another, they don't do those kind of things. And we ask, okay, what I am avoiding? What are the things that I avoid for any reason whatsoever? And be able to say, like, give yourself a deadline. I think that's a beautiful thing. Sometimes you okay, like, I am not able to do right now, but I give myself that 1 month. 1 month, I give myself to really prepare and get ready, and it's a high priority. So because I don't believe as well that you'll never be ready for things, but I think that being able to give yourself a deadline that you will be ready or not, you will do it at certain time. I think it allows to be as ready as you could before taking action. Number five is compare actions to stated goals. And this is a beautiful question. What are my goals and what are my actions according to those goals? Because I think that sometimes we said, okay, this is my goal, but when you look into the daily action that we do on the daily actions, our daily actions doesn't move us closer to our goals because actions doesn't align with our stated goals. So we always need to really look at it. What are my aspirations? What are my goals to that vision? And what are my daily actions that lead to that goal? Because I could say that I myself sometimes said that this is my goal, but when I looked into and reflected on my time, there's nothing on my schedule that moves me closer to my stated goal. And I know that there's a lot of people I think that look like the same as me. And that's why it's extremely important to review to make sure that we are in alignment, but we do things on a daily basis that move closer to our goals. Number six, identify the constraints. And it means that we're able to look into our life and say, like, what is potentially holding me back? And even like such a thing as energy. I have lack of energy. My energy is so low and it's very hard to really take actions to move closer to my goals. Okay, so energy is constrained. So what could they do to fix that? Better sleep, more exercise, maybe review what's draining my energy, remove myself out of toxic environments, toxic relationships, and that all those things will elevate my energy and will be able to allocate that energy to really pursue big things. Maybe as I said, my constraint is that I don't have ability to really focus. Okay, so let's look into maybe there are some distractions that allow myself to come in, remove those distractions, and our output will increase. Number seven is set a weekly standard, not motivation. I really love when we set standards based on minimal viable product. What I mean a minimal viable standard is that this is the minimum that I need to achieve because some weeks will be that you achieve a lot, and I think it's great to have that high standard, not to push too hard yourself. And we have a minimal viable standard is that what is the minimum required of you that you can really consistently do year after year. I think that's extremely important when you know okay that you I could that's what I can do and I will do and I will manage to do that as long as I need until I've achieved my goal. Because I think that a lot of times people have very high standards for a month, for 2 months, but there is a week or 2 weeks that they not able to do that very high standard for any reason whatsoever, and they fall out. The person who has a minimal standard, they keep going, and bypass anyone who had very high standard, but they quit on that high standard because they're not able to sustain it. Number eight and last one is run a weekly audit. That's how you evaluate yourself. There's not something that you evaluated one time and you okay, I know. And the thing is that okay, you evaluate one area of life, energy. And I was saying, okay, I was four. So again, evaluate. Let's make it five. Let's make it six. Let's make it seven. And on a weekly basis, we're able to look into what we are doing because when your energy level is at four or at three, and now you after a couple of weeks you did the right thing and elevate to six, the things that that really allow you to move from 4 to 6 will be now different to achieve from 6 to 8. And that's what we need to evaluate on consistent basis, that we can say like the things that worked, maybe now it became cage to stay in that level. Maybe the things that we're able to update to really move to another level. And that's why we need to evaluate ourselves. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What I need help with? Another of those questions is a beautiful question that we need to ask ourselves to really evaluate current state. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.